We decided that we'd make this into a video because it's a little easier to explain by video than it is by my wife writing it out. You may not understand. Over the last 2 years, I've been experiencing a lot of weird chest palpitations, rapid heartbeat, and it's so sudden that it's like I feel it and then I go to tell Kim and it's over with. And while I was a Methodist, they did try a monitor, but I worked for like 24, 48 hours, and it never caught anything. It got pushed aside. I went to Memorial Hermann. It's continued to happen. I was having a lot of dizzy spells. If you guys remember back in October, I actually passed out. I fainted twice. Yeah. I've had a lot of just real dizzy issues where I just feel like I'm going to pass out. So Memorial Hermann put another monitor on me. It was two-week monitor. I sent it back in, thought, okay, no big deal. And then beginning of last week, they sent me another more advanced event monitor, and I was like, well, I just did a 2-week monitor. Well, I found out today at clinic from my main cardiologist what's going on. I'll let Kim explain that because I can't say all the words, but they're very big technical words. But basically, I might have for lack of a better word, a short circuit in my heart. Nothing to do with my LVAD that could short circuit, but I have intermittent electrical problems. It's basically,
I thought you were going to say a short circuit in your brain, which is why I started laughing. So,
which incidentally they would not have caught if they wouldn't have put the 2-week monitor.
Yeah.
Because these non-sustainable ventricular tachycardia is what they call it, happen for less than 30 seconds at a time. And my heart doesn't do it because it's non-sustained. It means it just happens for less than 30 seconds, then it stops. And it may not happen for several days or weeks, and then it does it again. I'll let Kim kind of explain more of, now we understand kind of why I had the heart attack I had. And yeah.
So a very quick Google search pulled this up. I didn't get a lot of time to really do any research into it, but I'll link the article I'm reading from below. But essentially, NSVT, which is what he called it, it's ventricular tachycardia, non-sustainable ventricular tachycardia, which I'm just going to abbreviate from this point on because it's a lot. It's defined as an episode of ventricular tachycardia that involves a heart rate that's more than 100 beats per minute, and it lasts for at least 3 heartbeats, but it persists less than 30 seconds. Most often, it does not cause any symptoms or palpitations, but occasionally it produces lightheadedness, dizziness, or syncope, which is loss of consciousness. I probably said that wrong. Nurses, don't hate on me for that one. Somewhere else I did read that sometimes it's asymptomatic, so you don't feel it, which kind of explains what happened to Marion, because we didn't have any idea anything was wrong with him. He had never had any kind of chest pain or shortness of breath, which is they always talk about when you have CHF. He'd never had any of it. And up that day, he was completely fine. And so it was just a fluke that I happened to catch that he wasn't breathing. So what it says, according to this, is any ventricular tachycardia is considered potentially dangerous cardiac arrhythmia. One of the things that it can cause is sudden cardiac death, which explains it, honestly. So today, our Dr. Nathan said that this is what caused the heart attack. I mean, he does have blockages, but the fact that his heart started doing this, basically it's misfiring. So your heart has these electrical impulses that make it do its thing, which I don't really understand exactly how it all works. But when this is happening, it's misfiring and it's causing the heart to go crazy. And so it's not working properly. So that's why you pass out and stuff. And it's only caught when you have an EKG, and it happens to happen when you're doing it. Marion's have EKGs all the time, echoes and all this stuff, and it's never been caught because he's never had an episode. It's very rare. The fact that he wore this 2-week monitor is the only reason it got caught. And how many times did it actually happen in 2 weeks?
I think like 3 times.
3 times in 2
For
weeks.
30 seconds each. Less than 30 seconds each. So you're talking about 2 weeks with less than a minute worth of data that they actually caught. So this is why we believe, and that Dr. Nathan now believes, is because right now, when you combine a sudden tachycardia rhythm with blockages and a low EF, you have sudden cardiac death. At the time of my heart attack, my EF was only like 15. My EF now is 65, so, and I have a normal, completely normal, and because I have a pump on my left side, I'm having these events, but I'm not having a massive heart attack because my EF is normal and still being able to pump, as well as having the assist of the LVAD. So basically, if I didn't have that, I probably would have had another massive heart attack.
Virtually impossible to have a heart attack with an LVAD. I mean, I guess it could happen, but it's literally a bypass.
Because we've always thought I'd never had tachycardia or arrhythmia.
No.
Because I've never shown it on my EKGs. But because now we see that it's the non-sustained, I have it. It just is completely random. That can happen at any time, and that's what happened to me. So
yeah.
Now we know. So
now we know.
I have to go see a electrophysiologist.
Yeah.
Basically a heart electrician.
Heart electrician. So the first thing I asked Marion was, initially when you get an LVAD, they typically give you a arrhythmia medication, and they took him off of it because it's not, needed.
Because I never had arrhythmia.
He never had arrhythmia. So that was the first thing I said was, is that something that will fix it? And in Marion's case, actually, according to this, it's not especially helpful. It's not always effective in treating NSVT. They can do ablation. Oh gosh, I hope you don't have to do that because that's very painful. Another option is a pacemaker, which everybody, when I've said that today, has gone, what? How can you have a pacemaker and a machine that operates on batteries? Well, it's actually extremely common for LVADers to have pacemakers actually inserted at the exact same time. I don't have numbers, but I mean, I've met a number of them online, and it seems like they're actually surprised when people don't have it.
Yeah, I'm asked all the time.
Yeah, no, we don't have a pacemaker. So that might be something that comes from it. And sorry, I'm bending down because my dog's getting upset because we're not paying attention to him. A potential positive from this is that Marion may get moved up on the list, which would be awesome. The not so awesome thing is if he gets moved to the list on a level 2, which would mean he would be stuck in the hospital until that heart came, which we don't want because he could be in there for months. I mean, he could be in there for a couple of days and it would happen.
Yeah. Or
more likely, he'd be in there for months, which we do know people who have been stuck in the hospital for months.
And if you guys know me and you see our Facebooks, I am not a stay-at-home type person.
Nope.
So I'd probably lose my mind.
And it would be especially bad right now. I mean, we were having the surge in Houston. This morning I read there's only 33 ICU beds available in the city. That's really bad. Not that he would be in the ICU. I don't think he'd be in the ICU.
No,
being on the transplant list.
I would be over in the heart area.
He would be in the HVI, but because of the surge, I wouldn't be able to go down there. Nobody would. So he'd be completely alone for months, possibly, with no visitors. Yeah, no. He would, throw a chair out the window and then dive after it. So that's not what we want. I mean, after 24 hours, he's about had it with the hospital. So that's
hospital
not
food
what
for
we
24
want.
hours.
No. I lived on it for 3 weeks, and
I lived on a tube up, I know. So leave me alone. I don't talk about it.
You don't remember most of it.
Yeah.
I got to see it come back.
Yeah.
For a couple of days. That was fun.
Yeah, I nearly didn't survive 27 days, and I was passed out for most of it. So
in essence, that's not the option we want.
No.
So we'll obviously give updates, but we just kind of wanted to lay out what's going on. This is the latest thing. It just happened today. So just pray for us that they make good decisions, the right decisions, and that they don't just stick him in the hospital for a long time, because that's not what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least the positive thing is we finally have answers, because this has been happening more and more often.
For a couple of years now.
Actually, it happened last night when I got home. He was having it, and I was able to actually lay my ear on his chest. I could actually hear his heart skipping beats, which it doesn't do. So, I mean, it just explains everything. So, now we finally understand why he had sudden cardiac death. Or at least, most likely, that's the explanation.
No, most likely.
We'll never know for sure.
No.
Not on this side, at least.
No.
So. Anyway, that's what's going on. Thanks for listening. Sorry it was really long, but it's also a very long word. I'll post the link to the article I was reading about. And now you know. All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.